Hello everybody. In today's video we are going to be going over how you can utilize AI, mainly ChatGPT in this one, to assist in how you can learn new tools and new softwares, especially Power BI. So when starting out with learning Power BI, one of the challenges that you can come across is how do you find some sample data that you can play around with that is easy to work with, that you know should be producing some results and you can validate easy. How do you find some of that data, or how can you get some of that data? So in today's video, we're going to be going through how GPT can help you create that data in any industry that you're familiar with and use any type of tables that you want. And GPT can easily just create that data for you without really any knowledge of what you're doing. You can just give it the prompts, right? So we are going to be using GPT-4, and we are going to be using the advanced data analysis engine for GPT-4, because we are going to be using GPT to code us some data, some sample data across multiple tables in the industry we select to give us those tables that we can relate to and get working in Power BI with, right? So let's go ahead and just use a simple prompt here. So let's go ahead and say something like, I need help with creating a sample data set for practicing Power BI. Let's go with we're going to choose the retail industry here. I would like a sample data set for a business is in the retail industry. So here, for this retail industry part, let's say you wanted it in the logistics world, or in the recruiting world, or in the sales world, or any type of industry, you can just replace the sales industry with whatever kind of data scenario or data industry you're looking for, and GPT will generate the following prompts. We'll go through what it's going to show us. It'll generate the following prompts around that industry as opposed to the retail industry. But just for our purposes, we'll just go with the retail industry since it's so widely known. And then let's tell it to give us some data, tables that it might tell us to use. So can you provide some examples of what type of data you might include in this type of data set? So it's going to give us some example tables of what we can use when it generates our data set for us. And then as it goes through this data, what we're going to be able to do is, in our next prompt, what we're going to want to do is we're essentially just going to want to tell it, okay, we like these tables, we want to add ABC fields to those tables and these other tables, or you can just take it as is and say, let's create all of these tables, give me 50,000 rows on my transaction table, and produce me those output tables as CSV files, right? So you can totally take this conversation wherever you want to go. Next, and so you can see it's kind of given us all of those tables that you would expect to see in just a sample retail industry business, right? So we've got some sales, we've got our inventory, we've got some product, customer, supplier, and store data, right? So let's go ahead and let's choose, we definitely need a transaction table. I don't really want an industry inventory table here, so let's go transactions, product, customer, and let's go store. So let's go with, can you create me a data set with the tables you provided, tables 1, 3, 4, and 7. With the tables you provided, tables 1, 3, 4, and 7, with a minimum of at least 100,000 rows on the fact table, sales table. Provide the final results to me in CSV files. All right, so we are telling it that, okay, we like tables 1. Those had great data on it. Let's go with that. We didn't like table 2. I don't want to use inventory, different kind of data set. We like product table. We liked our customer table. And we liked our store table. Right, so it's going to give us our 4 during this code that it's writing right here. It's going to generate those 4 tables, right? So here are going to be those 4 tables that it's going to generate for us. It's going to have code that's going to generate those tables with each of those fields. And then once it gives us those tables, it's going to output the tables as a CSV download, we will just download those files and loop it into a fresh Power BI file, and we can just start working through that data that it just generated us, right? So we're going to go through top to bottom of just choosing that industry, getting it into Power BI, and then what that kind of sample data can look like. So it's going to be super cool once GPT is done with it, to see that kind of you can just have a full model produced with just a couple of prompts to GPT to start really elevating how you can learn within a brand new platform with data that you're familiar with. And right, so as GPT goes through too, if you do know any Python, you can kind of look in here and see exactly what code it's doing, right? So you can kind of look through, see if you like anything, if you want to change stuff, if you want to take this code and use it as your own to start generating some files. That's why I've generated a bunch of files within my courses on Learn-PowerBI.com. Is I've had GPT help me code the Python to generate these really complex, in-depth models that now I can just generate any amount of data for any type of data scenario I want to from GPT coding me those files, right? So, all right, it looks like GPT is getting close to finishing up, so we should have these files soon here. Great. Generated me the files. Let's go ahead and download these guys. So let's just go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got all 4 of them. Let's hop over to our Power BI file. And let's go ahead and grab all of our data here. So let's go new source, CSV file. Let's go to downloads. Got sales. Stores. Customers. And our products. All right, let's just rename these here. Fact table, sales, look up stores. All right, and let's load this in. Should be pretty quick to load it in. And let's hop over to our model real quick. And it looked like we got Power BI to establish our relationships automatically. Nice and neat. So look at all of those relationships just already being done for us. We don't have to do anything to our product. Again, this is our sales table that was directly generated from GPT, right? So this is this sales table. And once we load it into Power BI, boom, our model's already created. Everything's lined up nice and neatly. And the reason our relationships are already created is because we have that AI engine automatically relating things if they find tables that are related to each other within Power BI. And so let's start throwing stuff onto the page here. So let's say we want to check out our product descriptions. Are these neat? No, they're not. Let's go with product name. Product name. No, what's a neat one? Okay, there we go. Product subcategory. So within our product subcategory, let's go ahead and count the total sales. So let's just go count of sales. Just a basic count rows on our sales table and throw it onto our visual with subcategories. And there you go, right? So just like that, right? We can very quickly and easily create a full data set that you can be familiar with or not on what you want to do with your data. So now that we've had a data set created, we can do anything we want with it now. So if we want to add, we can now add. Let's go back and add in those suppliers and inventory tables, right? Necessary adjustments to our sales table and other tables in order to allow for the new supplier table data to fit within our model. right? So you can, again, just keep adding on to the prompts that you want GPT to generate, and we've already got our base model, so we already know that its base model is already related to each other, right? We already know GPT can code us a sample data set directly in the retail industry, so let's just keep adding on to it. If we want to make our data set more complex, if we want to keep adding layers to it, if we want to just expand on this data scenario that we've got with just our 4 products, right? You can start really getting into whatever you need to learn on that you are stuck on with sample data. GPT can help provide it, right? Or AI, any other AI tool can nowadays just provide you those sample files, those sample data sets that you need to help elevate that learning so you don't get stuck anymore. You don't need to be waiting for any data or looking or paying for any sample data. You can just hop into an AI tool, tell it the exact scenario you want to generate, and it will generate you those exact tables that you need, right? Just as a couple of prompts and you'll get exactly what you need. And if you need to keep refining it, keep telling it how to refine it. But hopefully that is helpful for you guys to keep elevating your learning and keeping your Power BI learning going forward. A little bit different video today going on some AI, but I think it's an incredible tool to help learn and develop your business intelligence skills. So definitely get into AI if you haven't been in there before, but super exciting stuff. Hopefully this helps you guys keep learning and moving forward in your Power BI business intelligence worlds, and see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.